Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And this message is really, really good and really, really hard. I've been doing my very best to figure out what's the best way to present this to you. Then I thought to myself, you know what? I know you get me. I get you, I believe. And this is something I think all of us are feeling right now. Have you ever been in a place where, let's look back maybe a year ago, 30, 50 years ago, when you first started really dedicating yourself to a spiritual life, to a spiritual practice, to doing your very best for each and every day to continually bring forth the evolution of your heart's knowing. You know, being spiritual initially for me back in my early 20s when I was first beginning my meditation practice, my first trip to India, my first trip meeting the Dalai Lama, and all the things that happened were so associated with so many highs. There was the high of going to India, the high of going to Dharamsala, the high of going to the Himalayas, the high of going, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this never-ending escalation of highs. And I was like, oh, boy, do I love spirituality. I think I want to be spiritual the rest of my life. And then as I started to really understand that spirituality, yes, has all kinds of bliss, has all kinds of highs, has all kinds of like, woo, this is absolutely awesome. And it has just as many heartbreaks. It has just as many hits in the hearts. It has just as many times when you're going, oh my goodness, I am in the valley and I'm going through yet another dark night of the soul. And I thought spirituality was supposed to be so much easier than this. Well, you know, one of the things I've learned and all of the different things that I've been practicing over the last nearly 40 years is that spirituality is true. That's it. You know, it's high and hard. It's true. And here's the message that I hope that you can kind of embrace today, because, you know, as we start beginning more and more movement back out into the world, I think for a lot of us, spiritual people, we're like, oh my goodness, you know, when the pandemic was hard, the quarantine was super, super difficult, there was so much darkness. But also there was an opportunity, I think, for many of us to cultivate a deeper practice with your meditation, with our yoga, with some of our self-care practices, right? We got more time to kind of look within. And now that we're getting an opportunity to kind of put those practices into action, such as, oh my gosh, you know, back last summer when I was spending a lot of time at home, when I was spending a lot of time where I could read, where I could meditate, where I could do more mindfulness, I could think about things that I loved and doing all these different beautiful spiritual things. Now I get a chance to apply them. I get a chance to go back out in the world and apply them. And this should be beautiful. It can be beautiful. I hope it's beautiful. But I also think it's going to be hard at times. There are different sets of rules, different sets of values, different sets of ways that people will be coming out over these next few days, weeks, months, forever. And that's spirituality, isn't it? And why do I love and why do I embrace this idea of being spiritual? You know, when it was early in my practice, when it was a never-ending series of highs, I thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing. My meditation teacher once told me when I came out of my 30-day silent practice, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I think I've got it. I think this spirituality thing is going to be my jam. I didn't say it just like that, but that's kind of the essence and the energy of what I said. And he said to me with these beautiful, beautiful, just brilliant, shiny Buddhist monk eyes that are just soft and compassionate. He just said, Jimmy, because that's what he called me, he said, Jimmy, I think it's too early to tell as to whether or not it's always going to be this light. He went on to kind of share with me that the lightness will come from whether or not you become attached to the light. Because when you become attached to the never-ending series of blisses, that's when it becomes hard. But when you realize during the harder times, the dark times, the challenging times, the times that are just honest and true, you have an opportunity to not become attached to whether or not it's going to turn out a certain way or whether or not you can be a certain way other than being present, feeling. That's not that hard, or it can be really, really hard. To choose to be present, to choose to be compassionate is not hard. The hard part comes is actually being with the practice, staying with it when it is. And that's spirituality too. It's all spiritual, all of it. The people that bring out the best in us, the people that bring out the challenges within us. It's all good. It's all true. It's all hard. It's all spiritual. And I think there's an exhale for all of us right now. Like, okay, I've learned a lot this lifetime, and I'm going to give myself the opportunity to feel, to be present, to be honest, to be open, and to continue to love. Because love is love, not just when it's good and easy. It's also really good is when it's hard and present and true. Because that in of itself is love too. So with that, here's to our ever-evolving coming out party. Here's to the evolution of spirituality, the truth of being fully awake, always, to the growth and the opportunity to shine with truth, with compassion and gratitude, and absolutely the aliveness that is inside of all of us, right here and right now. And thank goodness, thank God, thank the universe that we are alive to be present for all of this. Much love to you and many blessings. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.